In the last 10 years, 3D printing has come a long way. In the 2000s, commercial 3D printers mostly made one-color plastic trinkets that were only good for showing off on your desk. Modern 3D printers can now print the baubles, the desk they sit on, the house that holds the desk, and even half of the person who is using the printer. We are getting close to a time when the only thing that will limit what 3D printers can do is the human imagination, and as you know by now, the human imagination can be pretty strange. Today we will talk about 10 bizarre things that were 3D printed. However, before we start our countdown, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. 1. Unborn babies. You might be surprised by one way that 3D printing is used. A company in Russia can print unborn babies using 3D printing. Sounds like a story from the future, right? But there's no fiction here, just science. The Russian company Embryo 3D, which was started by the scientist Ivan Gridin, has developed 3D printing technology that makes it possible to make copies of your unborn baby. 2. Unborn child. These 3D prints are usually made of plastic and plaster and are based on pictures of babies before they were born. But you can also get prints on metal. This may seem strange, but many parents-to-be are excited about it as it lets them hold their baby weeks before it is born. This can give the parents-to-be a lot of peace of mind. Even though this might seem strange to some. 3. Entire houses. We started out small by printing unborn children with a 3D printer. The market for 3D printed houses is getting bigger and bigger. There are many different kinds of buildings that can be made with 3D printing, like apartments, barns, houses, and even castles. In as little as 24 hours, they can print out a house. Building a 3D printed house can also cost a lot less than building a traditional house. Winsun is a company that makes a lot of different kinds of 3D printed houses. Most of the time, Winsun and other companies like it don't print these structures all in one piece. Instead, the parts are printed and then put together at the place where they will be used. The practice of 3D printing homes is not only very cool, but it can also help people who are poor financially in a big way. Winsun already has plans to use 3D printing to make homes for poor people. As technology keeps getting better quickly, you can expect to see more and more 3D printed homes. 4. More 3D printers. Self-replication is only possible with 3D printers made of plastic, not with those made of ceramic, metal, or other materials. As with most 3D printing, the details and parts are the most important parts. It's possible to add more than 100 parts to a 3D printer, so they all have to be printed to exact specifications. To print a 3D printer, you have to print each piece separately and then put them together the right way. But a plastic 3D printer can only print plastic, so you'd have to find the other parts for your printer in another way. In 2008, a company called RepRap made the first self-replicating 3D printer. At the time, it only had 50% parts that could be copied. Since then, RepRap has made a big difference, bringing the number up to 73%. There are even children and grandchildren of the first RepRap machines all over the world. It's not hard to picture a 3D printer that can make copies of itself in the future. 5. Impossible sculptures. Every time a new generation of technology comes out, hardware gets cheaper and easier to get. As the technology for 3D printing has grown, so have the ways it can be used. Just like the camera, computers, film, and other new technologies in the past, 3D printers have given people more ways to be creative and express themselves. Artists can make sculptures smaller than the eye of a needle using 3D printers. Many 3D printer artists, like Kevin Mack, Tomoko Nagao, Bathsheba Grossman, and so many more, are exploring this new area of art right now. Like many new forms of art, the results can be both beautiful and strange. 6. Spy cameras. 3D printers can do some things that would be right at home in Q's lab in a James Bond movie. They can print very small parts with a high level of accuracy. This can be used for a lot of things, like micro-printing cameras for drones. A 3D printed micro camera can see in great detail things that are very far away. Along with general drone technology, these cameras have become so good that they can see as well as an eagle. These tiny cameras and even smaller lenses made with 3D printers aren't just useful for MI6. They can be used for many other things as well. 7. Pizza and food of all kinds. The next thing on our list is very strange. Food can be made with a 3D printer. In 2016, a company in London called Food Inc. opened a pop-up restaurant. Even though the restaurant was only open for 3 days, it made a big difference. Food Inc. printed hummus, cheese, chocolate, and even the furniture in their restaurant, which was only open for a short time. These are just a few of the many different kinds of food that can be printed. The 3D printers of another company, XYZ Printing, have made pizza, cookies, toast, cake, and more, all on a device that costs around $2,000. People who have tried it say that the food is tasty. 8. Working human organs. There have been some really interesting changes in the medical field, thanks to 3D printing. Scientists are now able to use medical scans to print organs. Doctors and nurses often use the organs to learn how to do their jobs. After the organs are printed, they are changed so that they look and feel like a real organ. In the future, this will be very helpful for training in the medical field. And in the future, 3D printing could be used more often to make human organs that work. 9. Robots. With 3D printing, you can make robots. As was said above, 3D printers are great for making small and very complex parts. Robots are made almost entirely of these kinds of parts. With this technology, you could change every part of your own robots to make them exactly what you want. With 3D printers, designers can create a device from a library, finalize the geometry, and then print the parts, including a circuit board. Robot skin technology has also improved thanks to 3D printing. This skin has a lot of sensors in it, so the robot can, at least in theory, feel. Like human organs, this is still in the works, but it has come a long way in the last 10 years, thanks in large part to the improvement of 3D printing technology. 9. Turtle parts. When a brush fire in Brazil badly burned a tortoise named Freddy, he lost 85% of his shell. He was able to get his shell fixed, thanks to the amazing technology of 3D printing and the kindness of a team of scientists who work on design. Freddy's new shell was based on the shell of another tortoise. It was printed in 4 parts and put together with glue. Freddy's white shell made him look funny, so a group of designers and scientists painted it. You probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between him and another tortoise if you saw them sitting together. That is one jaw-dropping way to use amazing technology. This upgrade is good for more animals than just tortoises. There's also a toucan with a 3D printed replacement bill, cats and dogs with wheelchairs, and a lot of other prosthetics for animals. 10. Bionic arms. While we're talking about prosthetics, we should mention that 3D printers have helped more than just animals. 3D printers can also make prosthetics for people. Open Bionics is a company that has made a prosthetic arm that isn't too expensive. The Hero arm, which was made with a 3D printer, weighs less than 1/3 of a pound and is made up of parts that were all made with a 3D printer. Hero arms are made to fit each patient and can also be changed to fit their needs. The company also says that its products are comfortable, easy to use, and have long battery lives. These artificial limbs are impressive, light, and not too expensive. As 3D printing gets better, this industry is sure to keep getting better as well. This is an exciting way to use new technology to give these people a service they need. 3D printing has been getting better over the last 10 years, and it will continue to be used in technology, medicine, entertainment, security, and the arts. I'm sure that as 3D printers get better and more efficient, we'll see a lot more strange things being made. These are the 10 bizarre things that were 3D printed. If you like the video, leave a comment and also subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.